Plato and Aristotle are two of the most well-known philosophers of ancient Greece. While they both studied under the same mentor, Plato was the teacher of Aristotle. The two philosophers had contrasting views on several philosophical concepts. From the nature of reality to the idea of the ideal state, Plato and Aristotle had differing opinions on many topics. This video will explore some of the most significant differences between the philosophies of Plato and Aristotle. One of the most fundamental differences between the two philosophers was their approach to metaphysics. Plato believed in the existence of a realm of abstract concepts, which he referred to as forms. These forms were the ideal versions of everything that exists in the physical world. According to Plato, the physical world is merely a reflection of the world of forms. In contrast, Aristotle rejected the idea of a separate world of forms and instead believed that everything that exists in the physical world is real. Another difference between the two philosophers was their view of the nature of knowledge. Plato believed that knowledge was innate and that we gain access to it through reason and contemplation. In contrast, Aristotle believed that knowledge comes from experience and observation. According to Aristotle, we gain knowledge by observing the physical world around us and drawing conclusions from our observations. The concept of justice was also an area of disagreement between the two philosophers. Plato believed that justice could only be achieved through a strict hierarchy in which everyone had a predetermined role. In contrast, Aristotle believed that justice could only be achieved through equality and fairness. The two philosophers also had differing views on the ideal state. Plato believed that the ideal state would be one in which philosophers ruled over the people. According to Plato, philosophers were the only ones capable of knowing the true nature of reality and could therefore make the best decisions for the state. Aristotle, on the other hand, believed that the ideal state would be one in which the people ruled themselves. According to Aristotle, the people were capable of making decisions for themselves and did not need to be ruled by a select few. Another significant difference between the two philosophers was their view of the soul. Plato believed in the existence of an immortal soul that was separate from the body. According to Plato, the soul was eternal and existed before and after the physical body. Aristotle rejected this idea and instead believed that the soul was a product of the body and could not exist without it. Another area of disagreement was the concept of the good. Plato believed that the good was an abstract concept that was the highest form of reality. According to Plato, the good was the ultimate goal of all human endeavor. Aristotle, on the other hand, believed that the good was relative and depended on the individual. The two philosophers also had different views on the role of government. Plato believed that the government should have complete control over the lives of its citizens. According to Plato, the government should be responsible for the education and well-being of its citizens. Aristotle, on the other hand, believed that the role of the government was to provide a framework for the citizens to live their lives as they saw fit. The concept of virtue was also an area of disagreement between the two philosophers. Plato believed that virtue was an innate quality that could be accessed through reason and contemplation. Aristotle believed that virtue was a product of habit and could be developed through practice and experience. Another significant difference between the two philosophers was their view of the natural world. Plato believed that the natural world was imperfect and that the physical world was a flawed reflection of the world of forms. Aristotle, on the other hand, believed that the natural world was perfect and that everything in it had a purpose. The role of art was also an area of disagreement between the two philosophers. Plato believed that art was a form of imitation and could never truly represent reality. According to Plato, art was a distraction from the pursuit of knowledge and was therefore not valuable. Aristotle believed that art was a valuable tool for understanding reality. According to Aristotle, art was a way of representing reality and could therefore be used to increase our understanding of the world. The concept of happiness was also an area of disagreement between the two philosophers. Plato believed that happiness was the result of a life lived in pursuit of the good. According to Plato, the good was the ultimate goal of all human endeavor, and achieving it was the key to happiness. Aristotle believed that happiness was the result of living a virtuous life. According to Aristotle, happiness was the result of developing good habits and living in accordance with reason. Finally, the concept of education was also an area of disagreement between the two philosophers. Plato believed that education was the key to understanding the true nature of reality. According to Plato, education should be focused on the study of abstract concepts and the pursuit of knowledge. Aristotle believed that education should be focused on developing practical skills that would allow individuals to live fulfilling lives. In conclusion, while Plato and Aristotle were both influential philosophers of ancient Greece, they had differing views on many philosophical concepts. From the nature of reality to the concept of happiness, the two philosophers had contrasting opinions on a wide range of topics. These differences in philosophy and thought have had a significant impact on the development of Western philosophy and continue to be studied and debated by philosophers today.